Forward March Hare is a pretty brilliant Bugs Bunny cartoon. This is a Looney Tunes cartoon that was released originally in 1952, and to be honest, I felt like it would have been released during the war, so I was quite surprised to learn that it wasn't actually promoting the war, or at least being some kind of loose propaganda. So that was interesting to learn. It's directed by Chuck Jones with a story by Michael Maltese, and we have Mel Blanc as Bugs Bunny. And a letter for Bertram Bonnie accidentally falls off of the delivery truck and floats down into Bugs Bunny, his home, and the letter is addressed to B. Bonnie. So Bugs Bunny just kind of glances it, opens the letter, and realizes or believes he has been drafted. And he joins the army and enters the induction center, and he goes through all of these tests and begins receiving orders. And one of my favorites is when he has to dress the chickens for dinner. I'm not going to say what happens with that, but as soon as the instructions were delivered, I knew exactly what was going to happen. And mostly because I'd never heard that expression before, so my assumption was also Bugs Bunny's assumption. And there are actually references to other characters, other Warner Brothers characters. One of the sergeants says he's called Porky Pig, I think. What various other characters are mentioned, which I thought was a nice touch. And Bugs looks adorable. He's wearing these oversized army clothes that are obviously made for fully grown adults, and he just looks so precious with his giant hat and his oversized clothes, and it's obviously brilliantly animated. There's also a really wonderful bit that I loved when he had been out all day and he cut open his boots and his feet were red raw, and there was just something about the way that was animated that I really truly enjoyed. From start to finish, I thought this was a lot of fun. It's a great idea. Bugs Bunny was adorable. I loved his performance. I loved the way he responded to everything. And even though he was initially shocked to be drafted, he had a really admirable, upbeat attitude about the whole thing. And I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Loved the gag about his superior vision because of all the carrots he eats. There are just so many little things in this that I really truly adored. As I said, I was surprised to learn that it was made in the 50s and not one of the wartime films that were made during the Second World War, but that didn't impact my enjoyment at all. Made no difference, let's be perfectly honest. I have to say, Forward March Hare may just be one of my favourite Bugs Bunny cartoons.